Well, hello and welcome to my channel, All My Art and Soul. I'm Michelle Holden, the mixed media artist behind this channel. And today is more explore, play, and discover. And as you can see, this is just a little sneak peek of what I've been doing for myself, off camera, of course. And these are just things, of course, that I play with, not things, but small abstracts. And it's with one particular color palette, all the different, well, yeah, that was the same color palette. Isn't that amazing how different they can turn out? And so I snap them to, hole punch them, put them on a hook, and I knead them out. That's what I'm demonstrating there, hung up along, I haven't really found a good spot for them. They went missing for a little while, so I had to clean out my studio. There's certain drawers that sort of pile up. And I did find them, thank goodness. And this is a lovely palette, which I'm going to use today. So stay and watch to the end so you can see how it turns out, because it's similar, it starts out similar, and then of course the page, and I know why and how it decided to go in its own direction. So I'm using the Canson mixed media, 100 and I think it's 114 pound or something. Actually, this might be the watercolor, which is 140 pound, and it's much better to use. I feel it doesn't get all wavy, and that's the ones I'm going to buy from now on. You might feel differently, but they're super. And I'm showing you all the colors, which will be in the description below the video. So I'm picking no more than 2 or 3. Now I went looking for my dots, the small Stencil Girl organic dots, and it depends what I'm doing. I have several stations in my studio if they were underneath the paper, because they're small and they can go missing. So I will refer to that small abstract just to remind me of my layering. Now, it does go in a different direction, and some interesting muddiness occurs. And of course, I'm starting again with the mono printing using palette paper, and I love it. And once that piece dries, I'll use it again and use it again. And then I've got this wonderful collage piece to use. It's so transparent. Now, right away, this piece is probably going to start quadrant or whatever. And you'll notice too, the more you, is it the word repeat? Well, yeah, the more you show up and sequence your layers, it'll become clearer. And that's what I think is happening a little bit more, even though this page did go in a different direction. But now I'll discuss in the video how to get it back. So it's that nice crisp white in those small abstracts that I have left. And I have concluded that I really like, even on a canvas, maybe not so much on a wood panel, to leave some of the exposed either paper or white canvas, whatever that bright white shines through. So I've been looking to build up a lot of heavy layers. I don't think it's the heavy layers that I'm looking for, because I'm looking for more of an ethereal feeling or effect, not a feeling, that would be an effect. So as you can see, I lifted some of the excess paint with a piece of paper, and there I am referring to that again, and just so it's really quick to dry. And as I've discussed before, putting in the high contrast black, whatever it might be, marks, and of course it doesn't have to be a stencil. It can be gestural marks. It can be swooshes with the paintbrush, and I intend to experiment with that. Now, I wasn't sure about the triangles, but these are great. I love the energy and the opposite kind of feeling, and especially just in the corners. Now, maybe next time, you see how they go with the diamonds? I might just use that same stencil in all of the areas. I'll see what happens. And that's important, to continue to ask yourself when you're exploring is, what if? What if I tried this? And just block out the end results. It is so much, it's not an easy task. It sounds easy, but I guess it depends on the person. So, next is a transparent layer of white, pushing back just some. Now, I might have pushed back too much. Maybe I should have just done the center and left the corners. So as you can see, I'm trying to recover a little bit of it, so it did slightly smudge. But in hindsight, now, who's to say that I couldn't go over it again with the exact same stencil to bring out the black again? And that's something to remember. So in my notes beside the journal page, on the opposite of the previous page, on the left, when you open the book, those are the little things that you might want to write down. So I'm keeping the palette as simple as I can. I am doing a little more mixing, but as you can see right from the get-go, using my color shaper, I added a little too much black, and then it became very muted. So right away, it isn't as bright as the feeling of that other little abstract. So just making a note, and this is all the stuff, because if I wasn't playing with this today, I wouldn't have learned that. And also, what a great difference to be beside each other, saturated and unsaturated color. Now, mind you, it's just a slight difference, maybe adding white. So I do add some other blues. So here comes the yellow oxide, adding a little blue to it, or black. And to get that brightness again, I think I will add a little bit of Hansa yellow. Any of your brighter yellows, your cool yellow would really be great. Okay. So that's that. Needing a little bit more white, which is, definitely a lighter value. And I notice it's too thick up there. And that's what the color shaper is great for. Even scraping more. And I really wish I did leave a little bit more white in that corner, the upper right-hand corner. Okay, so also changing your tools, which on a journal page, I think it would show up, to get different textures, using a brayer, using the color shaper, using a brush, using any kind of different tool to create a different texture with your paint, and just keep experimenting. And that's what I'm learning. Overlapping. So even some white again up in that upper right hand corner would have benefited this page. As you see the bottom where the diamonds are, or the rhombuses, whatever you want to call them, there's a lot of white in the background. It's a very thin layer. And that's the effect that I like. So I am going to remind myself to do that. Okay. So as it builds up, there's way more paint on this compared to the small abstracts. And I think that's the advantage when you are practicing small. At least I think. I don't tend to need or go to add so much. So I think I'm going to sort of hold back and do swooshes of color more than areas of color, or combine the two. So my transparent collage, which you can get with tissue paper, tracing paper, deli paper. I've got an order coming from Amazon, and I'm thinking it's going to be a lot sturdier, but I did order the artist tissue paper from Amazon, so we'll see and we'll test that out once it arrives. I'll do a different video just using that. I'm in the middle of creating and embellishing a bunch of collage. It's on vellum, I believe, from an old book, and really, it's almost as delicate as the tissue paper, but it's so cool. So, and of course, I'm crazy about my pens. The Uniball colored gel pens are amazing. I just have white, gold, silver, and turquoise, so I need to get a whole set because they're just awesome. See, so it started to work here as I gained back some of the white, but since this piece is transparent, I'm really liking the lines underneath. And in the end, I realized that I forgot to do all of my line work first, because those are the nice subtle lines in pen, pencil, graphite, ink. As long as it's a permanent ink, and when you add water on it again or you brush on, it doesn't smear. So you have to be careful. And I know there's different brands out there. So acrylic ink is the best because you know it's going to be water resistant. So this is quinacridone magenta, alizarin crimson, along with the orange, and now I'm just sort of having fun, not worrying about it. But with blue, you know you're going to get mauves. You know that this muted tone is going to happen, and that's exactly what does happen. So welcome. If you are here, if you found me during this video, there's over 200 and I think I'm up to 215 videos now on my channel, different playlists. So please, after this one, check out the Explore, Play, Discover, Mixed Media, Affirmation Art Journaling, and Abstract Art Journaling, of Earth and Sky series, a whole bunch of them. So I thought, well, why don't I bring something down? I wanted to bring another color down. I wasn't so happy with that blue. I'm loving how those black lines on that paper melted into the background. That's the part I love. So I need to work on making maybe clearer lines, and that's with the fan brush and a fluid paint. Notice I'm saying no to that because, see, now in the upper right-hand corner, just because it's a clear high contrast of white and black, would have refreshed the page. Now that would have worked right where I had that. I'm not sure, so I put it to the side. It's just I'm not feeling it. It's just the wrong piece. So then I continue because I'm reacting. I'm trying not to do too much thinking. Those needed a lighter value, and now they're standing out more, going into the blue. I don't know. Thinking symmetrical, asymmetrical. That is the coffee filter paper, as well with a fan brush dipped in some very fluid acrylic in a cup, and I put the coffee filter in a tray, spray it very lightly so it flattens right out, and then but inks seem to work a lot better. I still haven't gotten to those yet with my new inks, and so much I intended to get to this summer, but I've been working on so many other things. There's only so much time. So not minding all that, now as you can see, when you build up many, 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 many layers, it gets really busy. And then you need to go, okay, So you spin out of your reactive mode, and then you just take a look. So you're trying to be in the present moment here. And, okay, what do I see? What do I have? Too much? What don't I have? So then I'm thinking, okay, so this needs to be settled down. I need some clarification. I'm thinking white, but then I use the triangles that are on the left. So also need a bunch of colored tissue paper. I just love the effect. So see, even that starts to help because it's quieting down that area. Not as effectively as maybe another color. I just, just totally white it out. Maybe gesso. Maybe I will use gesso and totally white it out. And that's why you can't be so precious with things. Because for the benefit of this whole page of elements coming together, if you want some things to stand out, some things have to be veiled or covered up. So we're needing some more drying here, especially when things get a little thick. Some lifting with the page. And I love how those pages develop and then become collage. Nothing is wasted. Like in the yellow and everything, but when I have too much color, it's great to think of it as an underlayer, so then I can allow it to happen, and then I hear I'm starting with the no. So I'm thinking white. Now the middle part is just incredibly busy, but don't worry. I do, thank goodness, during the actual creation of this page, figure it out, and I really love. So what would you do? I would love to hear your suggestions in the comments section. Love that, but it's not dry, so now I'm going to ruin my marker. So put that away, Michelle. And then I think, oh, black, right. So I'm thinking, okay. I'm looking at aspects of the energy of that other one, but this one is totally different because it has a lot more black and will end up with more black very soon. Oh no, she's gonna do the black thing again. Not totally the same, and I am trying to move away from, we get into a default mode. There's some that we want to keep because it's our voice, it's our authentic, it's our little style. But I do want to move away from a black upper layer, but I use something very different here. And that's coming up in a moment. Yep, I got my finger on it. It's like, okay, what are we doing? Yes. So it's not a solid black, but this does quiet down that background and gives it some more unity. And then I bring down the bottom a little bit, clarify that. So now you can see a shape is developing. For more unity, I wish I did use the triangles in the whole thing, in the background. But that does break it up a bit. It's a little quirky, it's fun. Thinking of something solid. So that's why I just grab the blue and I tear it, of course. I don't get a nice clean piece. That's okay, but now there's too much blue. It's just, oh, no. No. Too many crazy colors going on. So then I try a bigger piece and see, well, could it just be because of that little piece? And of course, when you use collage, it is so great. You can cut out different shapes of different colors and put them down, and you can see right away, is it a yes or a no? And then you can choose to use collage or use paint. Oh, I love that red. It's just there's already so much pink. And you see, I just looked at aspects of that small abstract, knowing, okay, we need some quiet here. Let's just use some white. Of course, it doesn't turn out solid because, of course, it's a fluid white. Then I just go over the whole thing. But it's not going to stay like that. Right now, you could call it pushing that layer back, even though now there's a thin kind of layer there, bringing in some more of the blue. I don't know if blue was the right color, but that's okay because this changes even more. So stay to the end. It does evolve. So now I'm just reacting with what's there. Now, what can I do? Some warm. It's too cool. So now some collage, which is a great way, the blue, that's too much going on already. So we need some quiet. We need some solid. Those definitely helped. Then I'm going to put them on each side. So we'll do some sort of symmetrical design here. And then, of course, then there's this little gap. And that's okay, because then I just grab that other piece and put it the other direction, and it just sort of, oh, okay, well, that's really cool. Make it a little smaller, just so it's in the same general area, and then that becomes one larger area. As you can see, when it finally decided it's going to be horizontal sections with some cruciform kind of composition. You've got the black, that's 1, 2, 3, so there's 4, but I do add one. So see how when I was thinking of the white, just that, and I know that's my standard circles, but I love them. And just coming across and going up slightly and spreading them out each time. So just creates a motion. And then I'm trying to, nope, way too busy. So I just thought, okay, let's cut it down a bit. No. We need some solid. We need some solid. So I have this piece that I dig out, and it is a, what do you call that? Iridescent piece of collage. So here I come in with the purple. I don't know what that was all about, but hey, who knows? Oh, I know why. I'm thinking because it's so muted, let's put some, let's see, what is it called? Saturated color in there. And that's just too much blue. It just, no. Wrong. Just the wrong one. So then, that's okay. That might work. No. It created sort of like a, so the top, that blue piece, it's got to go. But instead of painting it black right across, I finally figured out to put that there. And all of a sudden, when you take that piece, it just, you feel the energy go, oh, yay. And this is a very transparent piece. And it's just like a shadowy kind of thing. I've done this a lot in my work, using different shapes, dark against dark, and that's why I call this veiling some areas. Now, it's sticking past the edge of that white, which, I don't know, it's okay. I may go back and tweak it. And that's the thing with your art journals. You can always go, they're not a finished thing. They're like, you can go back and go, oh, and as you learn more, then you can make a change, add that note, and write the date. That's what I usually do as to when you made that little tweak. Notice this iridescent, as you can see in the light. I think I remember to show you how iridescent it is. It's a pearl. There's colors, but you can add this mirror or whatever, this iridescence to any of your paints, and it's, wow, it's really cool. So this is just quieting it down, taking away the pink. Too much of that electrical pink. And I thought, oh, well, put that in the middle. But now it has this face composition. You see what I mean? Isn't it interesting? So that isn't going to work. So I thought, okay, let's create a value that's similar to those. And then, of course, push some of it out of the way just to create a layer and push that back and bring that forward. And now there's too many circles. So then I realized, no, that isn't going to work. I said that I needed some plain solid, so let's just leave it at that. And then, of course, drawing up that layer. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you're liking my content on my channel. As I've said before, you are on the journey with me as I am developing and, pushing my art knowledge, skills, techniques, and sharing them with you. So right now, and I will add the caption for this is called Glazing. So I decided to, oh yeah, it does need some glaze. Could have used blue, it was too cool, I wouldn't have. I just used the black and push those backgrounds back, and I think I will trim that shape, but then so you wouldn't notice it around those pointy areas that are in front. So here comes a little sprinkle, and of course I love doing this, but I won't always do this. But for my journals, I just love it. A little really high pink here, even though I did want to take some of the pink away. So what do you think? All right, so let's dry that up. And then in the end, I do use my white Uniball pen and define some of the white dots in the upper area. Use the gold, use the turquoise, and just add those little tweaks of detail, and I'm very, very happy with it. So, as I said, you can always make those changes anytime. So as you can see, don't forget to sign up to my Facebook group if you feel like creating along with us. In September, I plan to get back at it, and the Studio Sundays will come back, and they'll be just really short, specific tips. And here is the page in the end. And have wonderful time exploring, playing, and discovering, and I will see you in the next video.